Hey guys, I'm T, and this is From Prison to Reform. Back again with some more food stamp nonsense for you guys. I hope you enjoy this one, but before I start the video, please like and subscribe. Turn on your notifications, that way you don't miss any more uploads from me. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Breaking news, Republican senators have offered two standalone nonpartisan bills for the SNAP benefits for November. Now, these would be bills that are saying, look, we're not agreeing on opening back the government. We're not agreeing on what you want, and we're not going to sit here and hold the line anymore. We're going to do this as an act of kindness to show that we care about the American people. However, that's what the Republicans are doing. Now, the Democrats, they want this funding so badly for illegals that they may actually use the Americans as a leeway, saying, hey, we're going to use whatever we can, even letting young children and disabled go without food for the holiday season, because that's what we want. We want to make sure we get what we want. Nothing else matters. What do you guys think? I believe it doesn't matter. Republican, Democrat, God is in control. He will provide. He will make a way. So just keep trusting in God, not the government, not anything else, because God will provide.
So I got this comment on my day 9 video, and I feel like I need to explain something. I do agree with you. It is supposed to be temporary and supplemental. It does not buy all of the food in our house. What you don't see is that we do spend money on groceries as well. We also go to food banks. We are quite literally using it as supplemental, which is why I stated in that video, as a mom, I'm still going to figure it out, even if we didn't get SNAP. And I feel like they got the wrong vibe from my video. But the whole reason for me starting this page was so food stamps could be temporary, so I could try to get us off of food stamps. But you never know anybody's situation for the reason they're on food stamps. And I'm making meals at home all the time, as much as I can. My kids are being fed, and there's nothing wrong with using resources that are available.
Hey, so it is November 15th. I think, or 16th, I don't know, it's Sunday. Anyways, we got a grocery haul. We got Aldi's and ShopRite, but ShopRite was just a chicken. My kids already ate it, so, oh well. We didn't get any meats, okay. Did we get fruits? No. Did we get vegetables? Also no. That's another day. 2 things of bagels. Chocolate milk, 4 mini marshmallows to add with my cake mixes, donuts for fucking snack. Not that I need to justify why I'm buying shit, but fuck you. Anyhow, actually we did get meat, but it's processed. These for homemade KFC bowls. Somebody requested that I get ice cream, or somebody asked where the ice cream was. Here you go, chocolate. We got a pizza for Din Din one of these nights. Texas toast. Guess what? Another thing of ice cream. Why? Because I fucking can. Half gallon of milk. We got 2 things of waffles. Hazelnut spread. I guess it's supposed to be like Nutella, but like store brand. I don't know. Brown sugar for our ham for Thanksgiving. Also got 4 cases of water, but I'm not lifting that shit because I'm a lazy bitch. A gallon of milk, because why the fuck not? Okie dokie. Pop-Tarts. More processed shit. Oh no. Those are fudge. These are brown sugar, as requested. Juice. We got 3 cans of the cream of chicken for dinner. I use it over rice and chicken. Anyways, pineapples for ham, paper plates because I'm a lazy bitch and I don't like to wash dishes. Pesto. Really thought this was a bigger jar. It is what it is. And then some garlic. Anna requested barbecue chips for lunch. We're gonna have nachos. And then I got 2 loaves of bread because I fucking can. 2 bags of rolls. Oops. For Thanksgiving. I think I got 2 or 3 of the biscuits for some biscuits and gravy. Okay. I lied. I lied to y'all. I'm so sorry. I lied to you. But it's bagged. So maybe it's processed. Maybe it's plastic. I don't know. But we got some lettuce. Don't like it. Eat it. This is a pepperoni calzone. I think she said there was like 5 in here. And then 2 cheese. And the last bag. The one y'all are gonna hate so much. But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. We got some croissants for breakfast, I guess. I don't know. Kids requested, they get. We got 2 boxes of these. 1, 2. We got a box of these. I don't think I've ever had these. Maybe I have. I don't know. I think I've had the peanut butter ones. But an easy, quick snack in their lunch. Kids do have a long day and they do have to travel like 3 buses to get home, so shut the fuck up. Chocolate cake. Why not just make a cake with your cake mixes? Because I don't have to and I don't want to. And last but not least, a cheese Danish for breakfast for the girls. Yay! And that came out to, let's see, do I want to be petty? If I want to be petty, I'd probably say it came out to like $900. No. I think, well, if it was your money, you would know how much you paid for it. With all the refunds and stuff, I don't know how much it was, but I'm pretty sure it was like $167. If not, oh well, I don't really care. Anyways, hope y'all have a good night. Also, I gave the Instacart lady, she was super nice, by the way. She was super nice. I gave her a $5 tip out of my hard-earned money.
So you guys, I think the blue guys and the red guys are actually playing in our face. Reason I say that is they got the Black Friday early sale, right? Now, when it comes to doing sales, these corporations have to know way in advance when they're going to actually have these sales. Reason being, they have to get all the marketing material together, put it in all the stores, and actually set them up for display. Now, they got those information in, or that products in, probably, I think it was like 2 days before the sale started. Everything made up, everything finally placed where it's supposed to be. You know how many weeks you had to know ahead of time to get all that shit done? And they actually, you know what I'm saying, opened the government up the day before the sale. Somebody playing in our face, yo. Somebody playing in our face. Don't be crazy. You ain't crazy. You're not the only one.
Hey everybody, I wanted to come on this morning and do a little debunk on what is SNAP and some persistent myths that I keep reading about with SNAP and seeing on social media. So first, SNAP is a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly known as the Food Stamp Program, which is through the United States Department of Agriculture and is a federal government program. It remains one of the most misunderstood, I should say, social programs that we have. Despite decades of research demonstrating how effective it is, misconceptions constantly are shaping public opinion on it and those who sign up. So I wanted to address a few, probably the 5 most common myths that I hear. One, SNAP creates long-term dependency. Do we have people that are dependent on SNAP and that probably continue to have SNAP when they possibly don't need it as much? I'm sure we do. There's abuse in any type of program. But one of the most persistent claims is that SNAP creates a culture of dependency, where someone would be permanently reliant on the benefit. When we look at the actual participation data, though, we know that this is not the story that is actually true with SNAP. Administrative records covering millions of SNAP recipients revealed that usually most people stay on just roughly about 12 months. 74% of new participants exit the program within those 3 years. So this pattern of short-term usage aligns perfectly with SNAP's design as a cycle program that expands during economic downturns that we have and contracts during recoveries that we have. Similar to like unemployment insurance if you go through a massive layoff. So even more compelling, though, is the evidence showing that SNAP childhood recipients, it actually reduces the likelihood of needing assistance as an adult. So if you've received SNAP as a child, the proof of you needing it more in life, it actually decreases. It's demonstrated that children who receive SNAP benefits were 5.4% points less likely to receive form of public assistance in any way later on going forward in life. Another myth that we hear often is that SNAP recipients buy junk food and luxury items with their SNAP. The dependency myth that we just talked about focuses on the duration of use. This stereotype concerns more of the recipients and how they actually spend their money. We know that there are a lot of things you cannot buy with SNAP. You cannot buy hot food items, you cannot buy vitamins, you cannot buy supplements. The top purchases for both groups of people that purchase SNAP, whether they are a household with older adults, whether they are people with children versus a non-SNAP household, they're buying the same products. They're buying your poultry, your meat, your seafood, your dairy products, your vegetables, and your bread. Soft drinks only represent about 5% of SNAP purchases. That's nearly identical to the 4% of non-SNAP households. And do we really care if they're drinking pop here and there? I mean, yes, we want to be healthy, and I am all for advocating for a healthy system for all of us, not just the SNAP people, but it should be a collective for all of us in this country. We also hear a lot of myths about SNAP fraud being rampant. And though we are seeing a lot of people stealing SNAP benefits from people off their card, in particular, the widespread SNAP fraud that we hear from political rhetoric that we're hearing right now with the Trump administration, when you look at the actual data, it tells a very different story. The SNAP trafficking rate, the illegal sale of benefits for cash, has declined from about 4% in the 90s to about 1.5% in recent years. This is one of the lowest fraud rates of any federal program, and this is through the USDA. So this decline reflects both improved oversight and technological advances that make fraud increasingly difficult to, perpetuate or perpetrate. So obviously, if overpayments occur, they're typically the result of an administrative error or recipient confusion about eligibility rules, and there are state errors. But in these cases, fraud is very rare. We also have heard the myth that SNAP doesn't improve health, it doesn't improve nutrition. We've talked about the program's integrity and the spending patterns that people have. But another common criticism is that the SNAP doesn't improve health outcome. Critics argue that the program fails to deliver meaningful health benefits and people just buy junk. But we know, based on, evidence, when doing, research, that childhood access to food and to SNAP led to significant improvements in the adult health outcomes. There was an 18% reduction in metabolic syndrome. There was a 5% reduction in obesity. There was a 7% reduction in diabetes, 35% reduction in stunting. And this was all done in 2016 with a study. We know that pregnant women that use SNAP, that research has shown that food stamp or SNAP access has improved the birth rate of children. It's reduced neonatal mortality, which, with children born to mothers who had access during pregnancy, that those children that had SNAP benefits continued to show improved health outcomes throughout their childhood. So we know that these are a positive trend and not a negative trend that is so oftenly used to politically be used against the SNAP program. And the final one that we've been hearing a lot recently about is that SNAP is a drain on the economy. This is actually a huge myth buster that I want to do, as we know that research consistently shows that SNAP acts as a powerful economic booster and multiplier, particularly during recessions when stimulus is mostly needed. So for every dollar in SNAP benefits, it generates $1.50 in economic activity, and that is local in your state and in your area. So as recipients are spending their benefits quickly at the local grocery store, it's creating a ripple effect throughout the food system chain with the USDA. This effect becomes especially important when we experience like economic downturns or other forms of spending decline. So we can see that the temporary SNAP benefit increases that were included in the Recovery Act in 2009 created an average of 80,000 jobs per quarter and added $12.4 billion to the GDP in 2010 alone. The program's effectiveness as an economic stimulus stems from how quickly the benefits are used. When people get them, they use them because they need them. 97% of SNAP benefits are redeemed within 30 days of receipt. Many people are not keeping these on their card and letting them roll over. We know this. This is an immediate economic stimulus that is used and goes right back into your county, right back into your state. So the bottom line is we need to move beyond these political rhetorics to really look at the clear, consistent picture of what SNAP is and how it is beneficial to its recipients and to our county and to our states. We need to, really stop judging people and realize that we are very much closer to being on SNAP than we are to owning that yacht and living in that mansion like these political people that we are watching and listening to. I hope everyone has a great Monday. Today's Monday? Tuesday? Today is Monday. Whew. Sorry, guys. It's been a long weekend. I hope everyone has a great Monday, and I will follow up with you very soon.
Oh my God, y'all, the pores are at it again. It says, has anyone used EBT to get a custom decorated cake from Hy-Vee Bakery? 1, you can't need food stamps that bad if you're worried about getting custom cakes from Hy-Vee Bakery. 2, this is the kind of person that we're talking about whenever we say that we need to completely suspend food stamps or we need to monitor what people are buying with their food stamps, because I'm so sure there was just an entire demographic of people wondering what they were going to put on their table for the month of November when the government was shut down and they thought their benefits weren't going to get dished out. Literally, if you're maxing out your EBT every single month, how the hell do you not have anything in your pantry or anything in your freezer to last you when times get tough? Times get tough for everybody, not just during government shutdowns. Like, are you telling me you don't buy any non-perishable food items? That's crazy. And then 3, this entire comment section is full of people talking about how they literally do this every single year. How, yes, you can get a decorated cake with your food stamps, and they do it every single year. So that completely blows all of your arguments out of the water whenever you talk about the time limits for people being on EBT and all the work requirements for their benefits. They're sharing trade secrets in the comment section of this post right now. Like, be so for real. Cancel food stamps.
I feel like these people sit around and try to think about how they can make poor people mad or how they can make poor people's lives worse. Because nothing that these people have ever come up with or put in place make any kind of sense. Now, according to the article that I read, they found 186,000 people who were receiving food stamps that were deceased. Now, this can only happen if the people were elderly or if they died from some sort of tragic accident and the family doesn't come in and report that they're dead. So instead of fixing the broken system, you make people reapply. And how is that fixing fraud? And then they want to talk about saving taxpayers' dollars. You want to save taxpayers' dollars? Then figure out how are people able to steal people's food stamps online before they even had a chance to spend it. And then the system now has to come and reimburse people food stamps that somebody else stole. Because this makes no sense. People already have to reapply every 6 months and every year in order to continue getting their benefits. So the only people who kind of get a little leeway is the elderly because they're older. They may not can come in as much as the other people can. So I could understand and see where that 186,000 fraud stuff come in.
Then another thing, if they're going to implement this, then they need to pay them case managers more money. Because a lot of them are making just above minimum wage, and they're not getting paid enough to deal with all the drama that doing this is going to come with. Pay them people more money, because this right here is bullshit.
Okay, so like if they took my food stamps and then they took my mama's food stamps, who house I'm eating at for Thanksgiving? Who house can I come to, get a plate, get a drink, maybe take the little cousin walk with y'all? I could bring a wood, it ain't nothing. And you know, we could really vibe out. Who?
Video out. Even the damn potato chip aisle is empty, dude. Look at all the empty chips. Y'all are ridiculous. I'm gonna tell you, we don't have your item. That's what we need. Because it's empty.
Okay, so for those of y'all who haven't seen the SNAP situation, they're pretty much saying that everybody has to reapply, right? And I want to break down why they say they're doing this, and then I want to tell y'all what I believe the real reason is that they're doing this now that the government has opened back up. So first, let's start off with what they're saying. Basically, they're saying they found a bunch of fraud in the system now that it has updated, right? So they're saying like people are using family members' accounts that have passed away, right? They're saying people are not updating their accounts, so the information on there is not accurate, right? And they saying the states is not updating their files either. So they're pretty much trying to say a lot of people are getting off with SNAP benefits. So the excuse is we have to clean the system, and the only way to do that is to make everybody reapply all at once. But if I'm being real, the timing looks a little crazy. The government just opened back up after being shut down for weeks. And I remember doing a video a while back letting y'all know that the government shutdown, from my calculations, was like 800 million to like 2 billion a day. And I told y'all I'll break that cost down if y'all want to. But I said, who do y'all think is really going to pay for this? They weren't going to pay for it out their pocket. So to me, what it looks like is they're trying to cut costs without actually saying we're cutting costs. And the easiest way to do that, right, is to make millions of people reapply all at once, right? Because they know a lot of people won't finish the paperwork in time, won't get the notice, and the other half of y'all won't even know what's going on. Y'all just gonna wake up one day and your SNAP benefits gonna be off. And they know when they do this, it's gonna automatically lower the number of people getting help, so they'll never actually have to say the word budget cuts or cut anything. But let me know what y'all think. Are y'all buying the fraud situation, or do y'all think that this is just another way to control the people now that the shutdown has been over? Let me know.
What's up, America? Changes to your food stamps coming soon. So it's now been confirmed that everybody on food stamps in America is going to have to reapply to get food stamps here in America. The government says that there's such high amounts of fraud and corruption that everybody needs to reapply. Now, 29 states in America have complied. 21 say that they're not going to be doing that. Guess which political side each one is on. So yes, overall 21 liberal-leaning states have said they're not going to be doing that because that's a waste of time and resources in their opinion. The other 29 states are mostly Republican-leaning, saying let's start this over and restrict as much food as possible from people in America. So as you know, this won't be done properly and it'll be drawn along political lines as always. Liberal states will give illegal aliens food stamps and people with 9 kids from 8 baby daddies. But at least the elderly and disabled will get it. In Republican states, they'll take it from everybody, and there will be people that are disabled and elderly that will need it desperately, and somehow they'll fall through the cracks. No common sense whatsoever among any state. Just fuck us, and it's based on politics. Greedy motherfuckers versus naive, intentional motherfuckers. So can we please carve out another nation we can live in that's not Democrat or Republican? This one's broken. These people are fucking brain damaged.
If someone you know or you depend on food stamps, pay close attention. Major changes are coming under Trump's big beautiful bill. Let me break down what's changing, when it starts, and how it could affect your SNAP benefits. Now here's the timeline. October 1st, 2026, state will begin tightening SNAP eligibility. That means stricter income checks, faster recertification, and more documentation just to stay qualified. Now on December 31st, 2026, the new work rule begins. If you're 19 or 64 and don't have a documented disability, you will need to work, volunteer, or be in some type of job training at least 80 hours per month to keep your benefits. This applies to parents of school-aged children. Unless you have a baby or a toddler at home or some type of medical exemption, you'll be expected to meet those work requirements too. Now, October 1st, 2027, states that make too many mistakes managing the SNAP program will face financial penalties. For example, New York had one of the highest error rates in 2023. Under the new law, they could be forced to repay up to 15% of program costs, which could result in title enforcement for everyone. This isn't to scare you, it's to prepare you. If you're able-bodied, now is the time to plan ahead. These changes are real. They are coming. Stay tuned. Like, follow, share for the next update.
So let me get this straight. Donald Trump is throwing roaring 20s parties at Mar-a-Lago with great Gatsby themes. Lavish, extravagant, there's gold everywhere, champagne is flowing. And you know who that reminds me of? Marie Antoinette. The woman's so out of touch with regular people, she got her head cut off. And he's doing this while telling you and me that prices are down. Don't believe your lying eyes, you peasants. Inflation? What inflation? Everything is fine. Oh, but wait, there's more. This motherfucker had another party right after that one, because why stop at one tone-deaf display of wealth when you can have two? And then he goes to the Supreme Court to argue that they should not release food stamps to people who actually need them. Because, hey, a little party never hurt anybody, right? That's what he's doing over at Mar-a-Lago. Who cares if families can't afford groceries? Donald's got champagne towers to maintain. And this is not subtle. This is not hidden. This is your president throwing great Gatsby parties while arguing poor people don't deserve food. How out of touch is this?
Statistically speaking, your point is incorrect. Most people who are on SNAP are on it because they qualify and they're eligible, not because they're abusing the system. And not to mention, most errors come from employees incorrectly entering numbers into the system, not from people being fraudulent and lying. So respectfully, get your story straight, old man.
The food stamp conversation is just becoming ridiculous, because who cares if they have to reapply for food stamps? They've always had to reapply for food stamps. And in some states, it's every 3 months. So I've been trying to tell y'all, people are lying. Y'all believe everything that y'all see. Y'all believe everything that y'all see on TV. And at this point, TikTok is TV to y'all. So y'all believe everything that y'all see. Like, at the end of the day, all them people that you see making you angry and stuff about people having food stamps is just rage bait, okay? The people that benefit from food stamps is Walmart, Kroger's, the grocery stores, okay? They're making billions of dollars off of food stamps. It's a way for the government to basically give them money. It's not real money. It's not real. The only reason why money is real in the United States of America is because we say it's real. It's not backed by anything. It hasn't been for almost 100 years. So I'm just like, you people really don't care about the truth. You really, really, really don't. All you want to do is just be mad at the next person, and for what? For this fake ass money? If we was all serious, we would all just be like, man, none of this means nothing. Think about this. What happened to all the fruit trees? There are no female trees outside because the government chopped down all the female trees and planted a bunch of male trees. We had a whole pollen apocalypse. Way more children have allergies now than ever. Y'all don't seem to care about the real things, because if they wouldn't have never cut down the fruit trees, a person could have just picked up a piece of fruit if they was really starving and hungry, and we ain't even got that no more. That's the real problem. They wanted to keep your streets clean, so they chopped down nature's way of feeding us. Nature.
Okay guys, so I just wanted to do a quick public service announcement for the folks that live here in my town. I'm in Central Texas. If you know me, you know where I fucking live. And so it wasn't just these fucking crazy MAGA dumb bitches. online, right? With the food stamp thing, you know, laughing at people saying don't have the kids that you can't afford, so on and so forth. I wasn't just hearing that shit online. I was hearing that shit in the fucking streets. I was hearing that shit in my neighborhoods. I was seeing that shit on Nextdoor and neighbor sites, which the whole point of those is to help your fucking neighbor. But there are a lot of people here. Now, the funniest thing about it is that I know that some of these motherfuckers are on food stamps. They're on fucking disability. They're on Social Security. They are dependent on several social safety networks. But they're out there fucking talking shit about people that need social safety benefits. So, I just want y'all to know, me and my crew, we're going to be hanging out at the grocery stores, you know, one north side, south side, midtown, and, you know, we're going to be hanging out, chilling, and if I see you pay for your groceries with your EBT card, you better not have your fucking nails done. You better not have your fucking hair done. I mean, this shit, you better not have brushed your fucking hair in 6 months, because if you can afford a fucking brush, you can afford fucking food. Now, as far as your clothes go, naked, you're gonna have to just be butt fucking naked. You can have a grocery bag, you know, maybe tie it with some rope in the middle, get your little silhouette kick in. But because if you can afford clothes, then you can afford food. Now, shoes, same thing. Just find some old tires, tie them on with that same rope that you used for your garbage bag couture belt. And I'm also, I know I've been focusing a lot on your personal appearance, but I'm also going to focus on what you've got in your cart. Now, it better be fresh fruits and vegetables, lean cuts of meat, chicken. Not sure if pork is that good for you. Somebody else let me know. I'm vegetarian. I don't know this shit. Better be no sodas, no candy, no cookies, no crackers, no carbs of any kind. And if you have something in your cart that I feel is just a waste of my taxpayer money, then I'm going to let that whole goddamn store know everything about you, because it's a small fucking town and I've lived here most of my life and I know everything about you dumb bitches that were on here and out in the fucking street talking shit. Now, when I follow you out of the fucking grocery store, you better not be going to a goddamn car, because, say it with me, class, if you can afford a car, you can afford food. Now, as you're walking with your groceries, now it's not going to be many groceries because you have to get the really high-end shit, and so you're not going to be able to afford much. So you're going to be carrying your little groceries and walking, and I'm assuming to the park, a park bench, you know, maybe one of the underpasses over on the south side, because you're obviously, you're not going to a house or an apartment or an RV or a trailer or a shelter really of any kind that you pay for, because if you can afford to fucking pay rent, bills, utilities, all the things that come with having shelter, if you can afford that, bitch, you can afford food. Now I'm curious, y'all fucking pointing at me, laughing at me, saying whatever as you're watching this, do you have any idea, do you now have any fucking idea how goddamn stupid y'all sound? I will make sure that this whole goddamn town knows what you were wearing, what your nails like, what your hair looked like, what your shoes looked like, what was in your fucking cart, what kind of car you got into, and where you fucking drove it to. Y'all want to play fuck around? Cool. I got you, homie. Me too. You think I'm joking about hanging out at them grocery stores? We ain't.
Like I said, I'm not political at all. I don't follow it much. I've been following the food stamp thing for a while, but other than that, I know nothing. So all I want to say is that if he is trying to make everyone reapply, if you are on food stamps, please just go and reapply. Just go. I know that some people say it's not true or it is true. Just go reapply just to get it out of the way so that you're not waiting months to be able to eat while they process hundreds, if not millions of applications of everyone trying to reapply. So please do that for me. And then also there's a few videos that provide some good information, so I left those in there just to kind of educate us a little more on the food stamps and why they think Trump is doing what he's doing. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And again, I'm still helping families. I have 100 of my own. A kind subscriber sent 100 of his own. And if you would like to participate in that, I will put in my Cash App tag or Venmo so that you could send it to me and I could help more families as well. That's just an option. Also, my memberships are available and I've made some sweatshirts too. I've never designed shirts before, so I hope they're good and worth buying. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts down below and happy Monday.